Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here with the awesome Phil Lamarr, who's agreed to talk to us here at New York Comic Con. For those of you who, let's not play games, you all know who this guy is. He is the voice of Static from Static Shock, John Stewart, Green Lantern in Justice League, the animated series, and Justice League Unlimited, Hermes Conrad from Futurama, and Jack from Samurai Jack. Guys, if you are a person, you know who all these characters are, and he's agreed to talk to us, man. You are one of my personal favorites, one of my personal heroes, honestly. The show ran from 2001 to 2006, Justice League, and pretty much I wanted to know how you prepared that character, John Stewart, who was such a rugged dude, Marine, like he was a awesome guy, awesome character, and I think that you really brought him to life. Can you take us through that process?
Well, I mean, the wonderful thing about working with good writers and producers who know what they want is it's very little effort, relatively speaking. You speak the words and you sound talented, you know? I mean, Stan Berkowitz, Rich Vogel, Dwayne McDuffie, they wrote great scripts full of great emotion. All we had to do was play it truthfully, you know, because, you know, we didn't have to memorize it, we didn't have to act it out, you know, thank God. But yeah, it was really just a matter of also talking with them, and they would guide you and communicate to you, okay, you know, this is the dynamic here, this is what he's serious about, but he also has this lighter tone. And as the stories went on, they began to know the characters better, and we began to know the characters better. The first few episodes, I remember, it was just a fight to get all 7 of them in there. You know, from an animation standpoint, like, okay, we got one guy's flying, one guy's running, you know, it was a lot of work. But then the more time we had, the more you learned about each character, and then things began to develop in a more organic way. I mean, the relationship with Shaira just sort of like came out. It wasn't like, boom, here's one episode. They laid, you know, the groundwork for it. And again, that's just great writing.
It really, I mean, awesome job, awesome job. The writing is intense. That's why I feel like the show lasts so long, where it still stands up today. One thing, though, I always found interesting, because one of my favorite shows growing up was Static. And you actually, Green Lantern's character had some cameos in Static. So, I mean, what was that like for you, to be both characters conversing with each other? I mean, is it like talking to yourself?
Well, it was a challenge. Just from a technical standpoint, to make sure that the Static voice went back up high to where it was supposed to be. Because my natural voice is somewhere in the middle of the two.
Right.
And it's easier to drop down to the low voice and then come back up to normal.
Yeah.
Without it worrying about it. But to drop down to the low voice
and then go back up to the 14-year-old voice.
You got to make sure,
Yeah.
wait,
Am I all the way up?
it's like,
Or am I stuck a little lower?
okay, no.
No, I gotta make sure I go all the way back up.
You know, so it was more of a challenge technically from that
Right.
sense.
You know, I can only imagine.
But it was fun.
Yeah, it seems like, I mean, there's one scene where Static does an impression of John Stewart, and I'm just like, this guy has to be, wow. Like, it's just, that's an incredible thing that I saw there, and it was like, it was really cool to see this young guy try and do, and it's your voice. That's just incredible. I don't even know how that.
Well, that particular beat was the writers messing with me.
Oh, okay.
They wrote that on purpose. Like,
That sounds about right.
can you do it?
That sounds about right. Well, listen, thank you so much for talking to us here. You are you're definitely a hero to a lot of us, a lot of our fans out here.
GNPProject rocks!
So much, man.